Alrighty, we are back. Your favorite podcast show of the week. It's Location Weekly. It's episode number 531. We're recording live on August the 24th. Brianna, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Winding down the summer here, getting ready to well, you're sending kids off to school. I'm sending kids off to school for the day soon.
Yeah.
Counting down those days. Yeah. So just trying to soak in the last warm days, maybe, hit the beach for a weekend if possible. But yeah, things are good. How are you?
Yeah, things are good. Really busy. As you said, kids off to school soon, one off to university. Not living at home, so that'll be a change. And then it's my son's birthday today, so he's 15 today. So yeah, there's just always stuff going on, and it feels like the summer is done already. So yeah, but it's all good. So it is what
Flying
it is.
by.
We
I
roll with
know.
it. Yeah, so we have a good show for you this week. Four stories, as usual. A bunch of interesting brands doing interesting things, I guess we could say. And I'll let Aubriana kick it off with a fun story.
Yeah, so Disney's launching a new service in their parks. It's called Genie or Genie Plus. So there's kind of two features that this is going to allow people who are visiting Disney World, Disneyland, save some time at the parks and maybe get a better experience while they're there. So the first one is called Disney Genie Plus, and it's like attached to their apps that they have. And this is something that they can users that are there at the park, they can pay an extra $15 per ticket per day at Disney World or $20 for Disneyland. And they can choose like the next available time to visit one of the variety of attractions that are there. And it gives them the lightning lane entrances so that they can kind of skip that long wait time and maybe tackle some of the more exciting attractions that they're trying to hit at the park. So they also will they can do like one selection at a time throughout the day. So you finish one and then you can go schedule the next one. And then it also gives Disney World visitors this augmented reality lenses that they can use. It's called and they have this unlimited Disney Photo Pass download, so they can download all those pictures that they take with the lenses. You remember, like it reminded me kind of when you would go to an amusement park and get the picture of like going down the log ride or the roller coaster, and then you had to wait in line to pay for it and pick it out and see if it was any good, or if you're making a really horrendous face. So this might be like one where you can plan a little bit more. The other feature that they're rolling out, though, is this individual attraction selection. So visitors can schedule like an arrival time for up to two in-demand attractions every day. And it's limited availability, and pricing is going to vary by like what the option is, what's the day that you're visiting the park. They're going to announce more around that as it gets closer. It's interesting to see like how they're trying to continue to enhance the consumer experience while they're at the park. The park visit, it's already a very expensive trip typically, when you go for a few days or a week to all the attractions that you might have like in Orlando, or hitting up Disneyland, making it a family vacation. So they're definitely trying to make that better. I like this idea. I think that certainly you're already spending so much to go there, might as well pay an extra $60 a day for a family of four to be able to do the things you really want to be able to do and see. This is coming out right after also they've announced like some really great earnings. Obviously, their digital, namesake, and all of their conglomerates has been doing extremely well. So their direct to consumer revenue has risen 57% for the quarter, hitting $4.3 billion. It's crazy. They've also cut some operating losses. They had 600 million operating losses down to 300 million. They're attributing that to improved results for their Hulu service, which they acquired not too long ago. And, I think that they're obviously thinking about how do they continue to invest in back into the parks as more and more people are going out. How do they, really allow people to enjoy the time that they can travel again and make the most of the park. So I like this from an experience perspective. I kind of want to try it out, and I've been thinking about planning a family vacation at some point in time in the near future, year or so, to hit up Disney World. I think my kids are finally old enough it'd be enjoyable. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try it out.
There
What
you
do you
go.
think?
So the real question though is, you have two girls. So like, which princess are they going to be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's such a hard one. I wish, like, I'm always like Moana, yay,
Yeah.
like the one who's not, who's like tough and doesn't have a man. I'm like, yeah, let's, that's like the feminist to me, I guess. But yeah, I think they probably will steer towards like Cinderella or something very classic,
There you go.
or Elsa for sure. It's always a
Cool.
winner.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot to add to this. I think it's a great approach that they're taking in terms of enabling people to schedule those times with the key attractions that they want and sort of feel like they're getting the most out of their experience. I think it's also really interesting, sort of coming out of COVID, and these parks reopening, and a lot of businesses have gone to this idea in general of scheduling your time and your slot, and knowing that that's when I'm there and other people aren't there or whatever, right? So like maybe it helps with crowd management and spacing and things like that as well. So I think it's cool, and I like the augmented reality lens piece of this. I think creating celebrity photo ops, or character ops in their case, with these lenses layered on top. I think that's part of the whole Disney experience. And I think it adds a lot to sort of your memories and keepsakes. So I like it. I think it's cool. All right, on to our second story. Maybe less exciting, but equally important. Our friends at Ground Truth, a longtime location industry player, has partnered with No Kid Hungry. And this is actually an extension of an ongoing partnership between the two. No Kid Hungry is a network of corporate partners which works with restaurants and retail brands across the U.S. And they're really, as their name says, it's about solving the hunger issue around young people in particular. 1 in 6 kids, they say, are faced with hunger issues of some kind. Being fed, yeah, I mean, I know here, we have a lot of programs in some of the more economically challenged parts of the city where just having a meal, a breakfast, a lunch, or something provided to kids, as they go to school is really important. So I know the value of these types of programs. And so Ground Truth has really gotten behind this organization, enabled them with their location-based marketing platforms and data and so on, as a social good offering. So I'm assuming there's no fees involved in this, and it's really about helping them, target, find those families, identify, those families and those kids that might need the help. Number one, using geo-targeted advertising, and on the other side, obviously, being able to find maybe people that want to help support. So, and it's a cross-media, multimedia formatted program. So it includes connected TV, mobile, desktop, and social media. And as I said, partnerships with a number of restaurant brands, and retailers, that are participating from a donations perspective, and providing a social capital aspect of what's going on here. And as I'm a big proponent of finding ways to give back and support, with your technology, chops and platforms that you have. Obviously, we've been doing a lot here with my startup here in Canada with our CanaTrace platform, and helping businesses with contact tracing as a free service. And I applaud any effort that's about unlocking what you have within your technology offering and making it available to to do some good. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of data for good, and definitely giving back and finding unique ways to do that. beyond just writing a check, but also by supporting through, the technology that you are, as a business are creating. I think that that's great. And, I'm just glad like they're definitely basing it off of their technology and not the sentiments of children, because my children are always hungry. It seems like these days I can't keep them out of the pantry. But for those kids who actually really need it and really need, the attention that they deserve, I think this is a wonderful thing, a great organization to be partnered with. And, it's like, this is definitely a this is not an issue that we should have in North America, like in, the United States and Canada. This is not an issue. Like we are established countries, and there's so much food waste that, there's no reason for us to continue to have any type of hunger whatsoever. And I firmly believe that. So it's nice to see that, that there are efforts continuing to being made, that I think this is a challenge, that we can actually tackle here, at least. So happy to see that.
Yeah. All right. On to our next story.
Yeah, so staying kind of on the social good and giving back, and helping those that have different needs or disabilities. There is an app that's called Be My Eyes, which provides real-time video assistance to individuals who are blind and visually impaired. And they have a new partner that has come in, on the food side, Barilla Pasta, I think that's how you say it. And they are the first partner that's worked with this app in from a food perspective. And so this is really cool. They have this team. Barilla is providing a team of what they're calling pasta professionals, and they can field calls, and during a certain period of time. This is something that can happen through the Be My Eyes iOS and Android apps that will assist these visually impaired cooks at home, so they can help them answer questions about how long to cook things, and certain recipes for bolognese sauce, or how to make the pasta the correct way. And so they can answer things about like the package labels, cooking instructions, product availability, all of those things, for 4 hours every day, weekdays from noon to 4 p.m. Central Time. And they have more than 5 million users that are on the Be My Eyes app right now, and that continues to grow. And then they have nearly 5 million volunteers that are on call at all times, that can assist those people who need those extra eyes, at short notice, whether they're looking for their house keys, or trying to find like a phone number, or get something that they need. And I loved this story so much. It definitely like hits close to home. So I have a younger cousin, and she was born extremely premature, 3 months premature. And so her eyesight has always been a challenge for her. And she, she has some sight, but it's very, very minimal. So she does read Braille. And so it's like very encouraging to see how somebody who, as an adult, could perhaps be doing things on their own, or learn how to cook something on their own, even being visually impaired, is really encouraging, that there's like such a support group out there, for those that are in need. So I think this is a great story. I love that Barilla was the first to really, embrace this from a food perspective. And I think there's so much more that could and should be done for, this, the visually impaired. I think there's a lot more that we can do here. So this is awesome. I like this, for sure. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, what can you say that's not good about this, right? And I think it definitely hits at a community in need, and I think that it's smart for brands like Barilla to get behind it, right, and find ways to not only sort of say they're a brand that cares, but at the end of the day, like people are going to be buying their product, and using it to make great meals, and so on and so forth. And I think the one thing I would say is, I like that they've got the 5 million volunteers and these people that can be your eyes and so on. I think it would be cool to add one extension, as I think about it, on top of this, which is, maybe and again, I think with this location and geo lens, right? So maybe, find a local volunteer in your community that you can actually build a relationship with, that might want to come over and help you in person, or things like that. So maybe it starts, with this virtual connection, but maybe there's also a way to sort of add an additional layer in the app to find local volunteers who want to sort of help these people out in person and build those kinds of connections. And especially right now, coming out of COVID here, people have been isolated, people have been at home for a long time. I think everybody's craving that human contact piece. And I think that this could be something that you could sort of layer into that would make it even better. It's already great, but even better.
Yeah. I was even thinking like when I started reading this story, I was like, oh, do they have some type of like augmented reality tool within the app that actually tells them like, okay, now fill the pot up with water, and it's kind of like helping track what they're doing, or like putting the pasta in the boiling water, things of that nature. But I think that they could do so much more with it, and thinking about using other types of technology, obviously, to help find things. You think about the technology that's being used for like Pinterest search or things of that nature. Like, how do you help somebody find something, and actually be their eyes, pun intended, obviously, right? So
Yes.
I think there's so much more that they could layer into this. And I would love to see more partnerships like what Ground Truth has done, come in and say, okay, like this is our technology, we can bake this into the app and give back, and use
For
that.
sure, for sure. But great initiative, love it.
Yes.
All right, final story for this week. United Airlines, our friends over there, have teamed up with Walmart and Albertsons on COVID testing. So, as we've been watching and seeing, the airlines are, sort of back operating, flights are picking up, air travel is picking up. But most of the airlines in most countries are requiring, mandatory vaccines or rapid testing of some sort to happen, in order for you to be able to board a plane or to, land and enter the country, or whatever the case might be. And so United Airlines has basically expanded their website and their mobile app to allow customers to have access to COVID testing locations at 3,000 Walmart and Albertson locations across the U.S. So for them, it's really about just building a network of places that people can go that are convenient for them in their neighborhoods, in their communities, and do that. And then you can sort of find these locations, as I said, through their website or through the app. It's not more complicated than that. They said that through their what they call the CLX Health Trust Assure network, you do your testing, and then the results are delivered within 4 to 48 hours of the test, and submitted to your account, your online profile on the United website or through the mobile app itself to be reviewed for the flight. So basically, you've got your test results right there, ready to go in the app. So as you check in at the airport, all that information is handy and visible and available for those that need to see it in order for you to proceed with that. So, I think it's cool. Like it's a neat partnership to say, hey, Walmart and Albertsons are providing these testing locations. I have no idea if there's any kind of revenue model or exchange of funds happening here to facilitate this. I'm assuming that people are paying for those tests as they go to those places. Because they have to travel and they need a test. I know here in Canada, for example, if you land in the country, you're required to have a test on entry and present those results. Otherwise, you go into quarantine and all of that. And there's labs set up right now, like in the airport, rapid testing labs just outside the airport and so on. And they're charging you like $300 to $500, a pop for a test, right? So. But you need it, right? It's required. Like you can't do it with, you can't travel without it. So I think, there's definitely some opportunities here. But what I like about this is that they've got the locations, it's all integrated into their website and their app, and the results are actually delivered through the app. So that's cool.
Yeah, I like the seamlessness of this for sure. And I think that just helping people be able to travel more easily and more comfortably is really important right now. I know, I was thinking about a friend that I had that went to Mexico not too long ago, and this was during the time where I don't know if it's still the case, but you had to have results to enter Mexico, and then you had to have a test within like 48 hours to come back to the States at that time. So, they had somebody come to their vacation rental home to like do the test and everything. And I think there's opportunity to have these like more rapid tests or kind of an assortment of different ways that you can get tested. So yes, at Walmart, at Albertsons, but also perhaps, having something that's a little more of a concierge offering, perhaps for people who would like that. And I do think that having, more options for rapid testing is like the best thing for I mean, I think that because we're seeing continued spread with Delta variants and all these different things, it's like, why don't we just have more accessible rapid testing for larger areas? Like before you go into an office or before you go, just have something that is happening on a regular basis. That seems to be something that would like everybody can do this. You don't have to worry about what your convictions are about a vaccine or not. Like we've got this testing and it's just like this is what we do, and makes things a lot easier. So I think that there's like an opportunity to continue to grow that out. I think that like we're not even scratching the surface for that. I remember a while back too, there was some other testing. I was just thinking like, I wonder what happened with that. I think it was in Australia where they were testing breath, like a breath test or something, which was really interesting to me as well, especially for children or,
Yeah.
that maybe the nasal swab isn't the easiest, most fun thing for a 4-year-old. But anyways, the point being, I like the story. I like that they're thinking about seamlessly integrating it. I think it's helpful for both United, like for travel, as well as sending people to Walmart and Albertsons more. I think that testing is going down just because of what, where we are, but, no, it's not probably going away. So,
It's not going away for sure. And it's definitely evolving. Like, there's a Swiss company I came across a little while ago that's, to your point about kids and stuff, they were doing saliva testing, but in the form of lollipops that kids could, just suck on and, like capture the data that they need that way. So it was interesting. So,
fabulous.
yeah. So that's our show for this week. 4 stories, a lot of interesting brand, innovation going on there, or experiments at the very least. You've been listening to episode number 531 of Location Weekly. We thank you, as always, for your time. Reach out to us if you have story ideas or feedback. We would love to hear it. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.